I loved Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He gave great speeches and his leadership inspired and galvanized the people. But by the end of his life, he seemed to have realized that he had integrated his people into a burning house. It was like we left our businesses behind and our power got scattered. It became apparent that our main goal should have been economics. Back in the day, we had our own. Our dollars stayed with us and our communities thrived. It's time for us to move past our trauma as a people, favor each other and commit to the staunch support of our businesses. Well, it's time for us to rebuild. iShop.Black is an opportunity for us to renew the spirit of Black Wall Street now, when we began to pool our nearly $2 trillion buying power on this platform. It's time to unify and again begin to circulate our dollars among our own at iShop.Black. Join us at iShop.Black. Let's make every dollar count when we buy and sell with our own. Come set up your online store with us. Let's build our future together. For a limited time, only take advantage of 25% off on all subscriptions on iShop.Black. You can have your store up and running for our lowest price ever, around $26 per month. Offer expires September 30th, 2024. Scan the QR code below.
Join us for our tech podcast on Sundays at noon.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand or 10,000 Kenyan shillings or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from Kellen Cash, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my two books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community. We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for joining us here on the stream. It's great that you're here. If you're here listening to us, then hey, you still got more work to do, right? Still got more work to do in your life. And definitely want to speak some blessings, in your life. Because let me tell you something, I always say put God first and try to follow his plan for your life. Don't be out here like Diddy and be a deviant, doing freak offs. Got 1,000 bottles of baby oil at your crib. And now Diddy couldn't, he tried to get bail again. They say, nope, no sir. You're not getting no bail, Diddy. If Diddy would have been living upright and righteous before the Lord, Diddy would be at his house with his kids right now. That's always a telltale sign. Listen, let me tell y'all something. The devil will let you get some money. He sure will. But every time when you work with the devil, it's always going to be a downfall. Always. I'd rather take the long road, the narrow road, and at least if God give it to me, I keep it. If the devil give it to you, you ain't going to keep it. And that's just bottom line. So take that where you can learn from Diddy and his fall from grace. From the things that he's been doing. I mean, I've been hearing Diddy was calling witnesses and trying to, threatening people by putting out the freak off tapes. And, oh, yeah, Diddy, he's a piece of work, isn't he? But there's a lot of people scared. And I hope they get all y'all. I hope they do, because we need some righteousness back in America. Get them all. Put them all over there with Diddy. That's his freak off buddies. But glad y'all joined us today. We're going to talk about Vice President Kamala Harris, because I know y'all love when we talk about Vice President Kamala Harris. I know, and even the Shields love when we talk about Vice President Kamala Harris, the most famous vice president in the world right now. A vice president that was selected, not elected. She's never won a presidential anything. She was only selected, never elected. So always keep that in mind. Joe Biden was actually elected. Even in the primary, he got 14 million votes. This woman was selected. And like I said before, if any of you are fine with the Democrats selecting people, and if this woman was to win, you'll never be able to pick a candidate ever again, because the Democrats say, oh, we got away with it this time. We just keep doing it. So I hope everybody's doing good. Tonight. Few things. Advertising. If you would like to advertise your business, if you would like to advertise your event, or anything that you have coming up, then African Diaspora News Channel, definitely on the live streams, would be a good place for you to do so. Our rates is actually considered, affordable. Consider with, what I used to have this partner manager. Well, she's no longer working on YouTube, but I used to have this partner manager. And she told me back then what I should be charging for any kind of posting. She told me at the time, she said I should be charging $15,000 to post one advertisement. I was like, wow, really? She said, yeah, based off of what you got. And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, so I don't post nowhere near that. Not at all, right? I mean, we are very affordable for the size of our platform. So if you would like to advertise your business, or you like, because businesses, I've gotten feedback from people say, yeah, I've gotten, sales from it. I've gotten, different things. Then, yeah, consider, doing it here with us. Number 2, the Ethiopia trip. If you're going on the Ethiopia trip, and I've been getting people that's been messaging on our website and saying, hey, can I get on there anyway? And I'll say, listen, right now, that would be, a decision that maybe could be made. But if you do send it, this is why I would say you maybe can twist their arm if you're willing to pay for half of the trip up front. Make it more worth your while, right? Pay half of it up front. I think it'd be better to do it that way. That way, you still make payments, right? But I think half up front would be pretty good. Also, the download of the African Diaspora News Channel app and Google Play and Apple App Store. I want to once again thank all of you who are doing that. We're slowly growing there. That's a beautiful thing. That's our place to have our conversation. I don't know if you know this or not, but just the other day there was a platform, I don't know if you saw it, called African Stream. And they say it was based out of Nairobi, Kenya. Well, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken came out and said African Stream was being funded by Russia, RT, in a briefing. He said this about African Stream, and immediately YouTube, Facebook, Instagram immediately removed all their pages just off of an accusation from Anthony Blinken. He didn't show like, okay, this is how they getting the money. This is how they doing this. This is how they doing that, right? He didn't show anything. He just said it, right? And it makes me always think, this is why I don't like that administration at all. That administration has been horrible to black people. If y'all been paying attention to the prosecutions of black people and the different things they've done in Africa, and I mean, it's been horrible. This administration has been, y'all talk about Trump. Trump didn't even mess with black people. The worst thing that Trump said about other black folks in other countries was, S-hole countries. That's the worst he said. Other than that, he left Africans alone. He left them alone. He didn't even mess with us like that. As black Americans, he left us alone, right? But the moment the Biden-Harris administration get in, it's been hell on black people, and it's been hell on our pocketbook. And I don't understand how any black American could sit up here and say, oh, I want to go put that back in office. I just don't get that. I don't get it, but I understand, like they say, common sense isn't common, unfortunately, right? But with that being said, yeah, Niger is doing their thing. They doing their thing, and shout out to them. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Them brothers are they on, and they all on code with each other now. They're on code, and that's how it's supposed to be. I love to see on code brothers, no matter where we at in the world. Be on code and let's work together. Get them folks out your country. But with that being said, let's go it on, and that's why I told you that the current somebody, as long as you got an ISP, somebody's owning something, but we got to have our own. I'm gonna keep saying that. This is why we got to have our own, because the new YouTube, Facebook, whatever, the new rules. Basically, back in the day, they used to have to say, okay, you got to get so many copyright strikes, so many community guideline strikes. The new ones now, they'll give you email, serious guideline violations, your page gone, no strikes, no nothing. That happens now. That didn't used to happen. That happens now. Or they're like, we're just going to demonetize you. It happens now. Back in the day, you never had to worry about that happening to you. But now it is. So then when these pages are removed, right, then you're like, oh, what happened? But I understand, but I don't understand. If you like certain platforms, no matter who they are, I'm not just saying me, so support them wherever they at. And in our situation, we don't need everybody. We just need 9,000 or so more people, and we hit our goal, and we are free. We can care less at that point. But let's go on and get to, let me see. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris. That's for sure. Yeah, let me see here. I think the week needs to start off pretty good here. Let's go into my homeboy here.
I probably did. I would Detective Thorpe. His brain was the size of a squirrel brain, so you could just tell him anything, he gonna go for it.
You're right. At this time, the state's going to ask permission to treat Mr. Copeland as a hostile witness under pursuant to 24-611, Your Honor.
Granted.
Thank you.
What that mean?
Don't worry about it. That's just for her to understand how she can ask the questions. You just continue to answer them truthfully.
Isn't it true that in this January 11, 2015 interview, that you told Detective Thorpe that at Club Pusha on that Monday before Donovan Thomas was killed, that Kel punched you in the back of your head?
I don't recall what I told the detective.
And is it I'm sorry. I'll cut you off.
I don't recall what I told him specifically, however you pronounce it.
Okay. And is it also true that after Kel punched you in the back of the head, then other people came and began jumping on you as well?
Their time gonna come.
That's not the question I asked you. Is it true that you told Detective Thorpe during this January 11, 2000 interview that after Kel punched you in your head, that other individuals also began to jump on you as well?
I don't recall what I done told the police. Y'all gonna charge me for what I did? I don't did the time for the crimes y'all caught me for.
Okay. Would you mind your language while we're sitting here in court?
I'm trying to. You got me. I'm on. Y'all need to give me a break because my blood pressure is real high. I keep telling y'all, leave me alone.
Okay. And the quicker we get through this, the quicker we can leave you alone. Do you understand?
Okay, I don't recall.
Okay. Going back to January 11th, 2015.
I don't recall.
Can I finish the
They
question?
didn't listen to the
And
question.
they keep bringing up Thug name. So what I did was, to get him off of me, I said, Thug did this, Thug did that, Thug did, because I knew they would never, I knew he didn't do it. And in my mind, I knew that the police would never go mess with him. So it was easy for me to try to throw the blame off on him to get them off of me. And that's what I was doing from all these years. I don't remember what I done told them in the past, but my whole motive was Thug did it because I knew he didn't do it and they couldn't lock him up. And they keep talking about Thug. So guess what I'm gonna tell them? Yeah. What else you want me to tell them? Yeah, he killed this person. Yeah, he did that. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's right now. If I walk out this thing and they say, if I walk out this thing and they say, the police stop me now. Hey man, give me something about Thug. Make something up about him again.
On January 11, 2015, when you went to speak to the police.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Woody. That was Woody. There's so many videos of Woody. I could sit here all for a whole hour just playing Woody, right? But let's get in here and talk about your vice president. But while we have 47 days, ladies and gentlemen, 47 days. And hold on, I forgot to do something. I can't believe I forgot to do this. Give me a second. Wow, I can't believe I forgot to do this. Just give me 1 second. While we're waiting on myself actually to do this, let me get to this so I can get more of my people over here. All right, cool. All right, here we go. All right, perfect. All right, so with that being said, let's see right here. Of course, we got to do this, just doing our due diligence, right, for our reasons. Make sure you go to vote.gov, ladies and gentlemen, vote.gov. That way you can get registered to vote. And so you can participate in this election. It's actually 47 days to go in the election. And like I said, I can't wait till the actual election dates because I'm ready for this campaign stuff to be over with. People be acting crazy and all that. And I'm just getting tired of it personally, as I keep saying. But vote.gov so we can go on and get this settled once and for all. All right. So Vice President Kamala Harris, and we talked about her before, about her saying that she's black, right? Or not saying that she's black. Now, I know y'all remember this, the quick footage real quick, right? We're going to remind y'all just real quick.
I want to ask you about your opponent, Donald Trump. Okay. I was a little bit surprised. People might be surprised to hear that you have never interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what he said last month. He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so at that time period, she was not saying nothing about being black. Okay, cool. We respect that. She didn't grow up black. You got to remember, she grew up with an East Indian mother. She moved to Canada, and in Canada, she was not surrounded around the brothers and sisters in Canada either. And she went to school with them folks, right? And that's who she was around in her East Indian family and all of that. And then she ended up moving back to the United States, right? So that's just kind of her story. She's never been cultured around black people, whether it's Caribbean black, FBA black, whatever. She's never been cultured around black people. All right. But we know who her father is. Yes, we know. Okay. Now, she went to the National Association of Black Journalists. Remember, at first, it was supposed to be Kamala and Trump go over there for, the National Association of Black Journalists. But remember, Trump went on his own. She said she'll get with him later. So she did actually get with them later this time. So now on the podcast tonight, we're going to talk about another part of this particular interview there where she got very, very frustrated and upset. And shout out to Tanya Mosley for that. And that'll be on the podcast tonight. But right here, we're going to talk about black men. Black men, black men, black men. Vice President Kamala Harris has a big problem with black men. As I told you, even the local Democrats right here in Houston have said that we have a black men problem. We don't know what we're going to do with this election because black men aren't feeling the Democrats and black men aren't feeling Vice President Kamala Harris. In particular, we're talking about the under 50 black men, okay? From 18 to 50, they're not really feeling her like that because these men are focused more on what? Their pocketbook. And they're looking at policies that can help their pocketbook, also hurt their pocketbook. Talking about reproductive justice, a.k.a. unaliving children in the womb, doesn't help the pocketbook of black men. Talking about LGBT does not help the pocketbook of black American men. Bringing a bunch of men in this country from other countries throughout the world really doesn't help black men, okay? And that's the tenet of what she talks about and the Democrat Party talks about. So, of course, black men who are thinking about our pocketbook is not going to be too keen on Vice President Kamala Harris. It just doesn't make common sense. So let me go ahead on and play what she said when she was asked some questions. I want you, maybe you heard this, maybe you haven't, but let's go ahead on and play it. And then you know how we do. We'll start it over and start at it. So brace yourself, though. Brace yourself. Vice President Kamala Harris does a lot of babbling. Maybe you need to write down what the question is that she's asked because she's going to babble and get you lost if you're that kind of person. So here we go.
Black men, as you know, are a closely watched voting bloc. You've hosted black men at your residence.
Yep.
You have engaged black men and centered them in your economic opportunity tour.
Mm-hmm.
But polling shows that some black men, particularly young black men, are considering voting for Donald Trump, and they see him as better for the economy. What is your message to young black male voters who feel left out of this economy, and how can your economic policies materially change their lives?
So I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'll tell you, I've often been asked this question in a way that I've had to respond by first saying that I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that black men are in anybody's pocket. Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote. Not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities. And I intend to be a president for all people. Specifically as it relates to what we need to do, to your point around economic opportunity. Yes, I started way before I was at the top of the ticket at what I called an economic opportunity tour, focused on black men. Understanding that, for example, we have so many entrepreneurs in the community who do not have access to capital, but they've got great ideas, an incredible work ethic, the ambition, the aspiration, the dream, but don't have the relationships necessarily. So my work has included, as vice president, getting billions more dollars into community banks, including working with the big banks to do that, so that we can increase access to capital for our small businesses, for our startups. Part of my plan under my economic opportunity plan going forward is that right now, startup entrepreneurs, small businesses only get a tax deduction of $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. So I'm expanding that to $50,000. Understanding, again, that when people have the opportunity to have the resources to get started, they're going to put the good ideas, they're going to put the hard work into it. And part of what I also know is that our young black men, our black men, just like any group of people, anybody, our small businesses are really the backbone of our economy overall. And when they do better economically, we all do better. Part of my work is about understanding what we need to do in dealing with, for example, the historic inequities that have faced the black community around home ownership, right? I don't have to go through the history with anybody here about what that has meant in terms of redlining, what that has meant in terms of biases in home appraisals, and what the impact it has had on stemming the opportunity to build intergenerational wealth because of those obstacles. So part of the work that I have done and will continue to do is identify, speak truth about those obstacles, and address them. Another example is medical debt. 1 in 4 black families or individuals is more likely to carry medical debt than others. So part of my perspective, and as vice president, part of the work that we have done is to say that we're going to eliminate medical debt from being on your credit score. Because until now, medical debt worked against your credit score, and people know their credit score like your weight, right? You know that number. And the difference between what that number is and what it needs to be is the difference between you being able to get a car loan, a small business loan, or even a leasing on an apartment. And so part of my approach is understanding the obstacles that traditionally and currently exist to allow anyone, including black men, be able to achieve economic wealth. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think it is sufficient to just only talk about economic policy around reducing unemployment. It is an important marker, and I'm proud of the work that we've done thus far, but it should be a baseline there, everybody's working. The point is, do people have an opportunity to build wealth? If that's what they choose to do, if that's what they want to do. And a lot of my perspective as we go forward is just that. I believe that there are a lot of opportunities that are available to the American people if we see people and understand what they want for themselves and their families, and then meet them where they are.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay. That was 5 minutes and 8 seconds, okay? And the majority of that, I'll play a sound on here what I heard from her. But all right, so now let me get to what people are saying here. One person saying here, benign neglect babble. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, for sure. Hold on, somebody else says something here. Mini Mike says near future calling it now. Kamala loses, Democrats will wage a world level gender war against black men. And Rolanda is having a studio in the dark in 2025. Yeah. So let's start this over, and let me go ahead on and get to the obvious.
Black men, as you know, are a closely watched voting bloc. You've hosted black men at your residence.
Yep.
You have engaged black men and centered them in your economic opportunity tour.
Mm-hmm.
But polling shows that some black men, particularly young black men, are considering voting for Donald Trump, and they see him as better for the economy. What is your message to young black male voters who feel left out of this economy, and how can your economic policies materially change their lives?
Well, that brother said, just right there. See, that's what a lot of people is not realizing, is that a lot of black men that I talk to, and I've talked to black men who have voted Democrat all their life. They have never voted Republican. They never thought about voting Republican. They're not Republicans, okay? And they said that their pocketbook and how they provide for their families is the number one thing they're thinking about. A lot of black men that I'm speaking to, they're saying that they need more money in their bank account. And these black men are actually looking at policies. So when you see black men saying, you know what, yeah, I'm kind of liking what Trump talking about. Once again, I know for those people in the back who just can't listen sometimes, these black men talking about Trump as a policy, not because they just enamored with Trump. You won't see these black men at the Trump rally. You won't see these black men at the wearing Make America Great Again gear. You won't see none of that. But these black men are looking completely at their pocketbook. They're thinking, okay, what my wallet looking like in 2024? Now, what my wallet was looking like in 2019, 2017, 2020. What was my wallet looking like? How was it? Now, look at my wallet today in 2024. We have had 3.5 years of the Biden-Harris administration. And we got to see what their policies have done in 3.5 years. Donald Trump wouldn't even be a conversation if they took the ball from Donald Trump and ran with it and made things 2, 3, 5, 10 times better. This wouldn't be even a conversation right now. But they took the ball from Donald Trump and they messed up everything. They messed it up. They came in propagandizing black people, in particular, black men in particular, more than anybody else. Call it what it was. There was a propaganda against black men that black men were attacking Asians. They maybe sprinkle a couple of black women in there here and there. It wasn't that many, but a lot of it was against black men, just so they can ratchet up a propaganda to get that Asian hate crime bill. Okay. Once they got that Asian hate crime bill, all of a sudden, black people not attacking Asians no more. Okay. They allow men of every country to flood this country and putting these men in the communities where black men have to get jobs. These men come in here bringing their cultures that is not conducive with American culture. These men of other groups are coming in and being assisted by the Biden-Harris administration financially. The city governments are helping them. The state governments are helping these other men over black American men. They're doing secret job fairs for men of other countries, but they're not doing no job fairs in the black community for black men. You understand? Black men see all this. Black men's tax dollars are going to the migrants, while black men are homeless. Black veterans who are homeless. Or remember I played the video with that one brother who's a veteran only getting $23 a month, but the migrants are getting thousands, and he fought for this country. Then you have a candidate like Donald Trump who said, hey, I'm going to have the biggest deportation event in U.S. history. A lot of black men can say, yeah, I'm down with that. Oh, I'm down. You even got some black men are saying, hey, Trump, what's up with some of them ICE jobs? I want to sign up. And you got some black women saying that too. Trump, put out them ICE jobs. I'm ready. Because we got way too many people in here taking resources out of my back pocket. I'm not getting nothing. So why I'm going to go vote for a candidate that's going to financially undermine me as a black man and how I provide for my family, when the women in our lives are looking at us to provide? Why would I go vote for that? This is what a lot of black men are saying. What about our brothers who are entrepreneurs? They understand what Kamala talking about, that $5,000, that's a credit. That's not money. That's a credit on your taxes. She's not offering, and listen, if she was so serious, she can do it now. Listen, she can go over to the SBA right now and say, hey, we need to give black men $50,000 loans, or better yet, a $50,000 grant that we ain't got to pay back, so we can help our entrepreneurs who are black men. She can do that today. She don't have to wait till she get elected. See, when they pulled that stunt with Black Lives Matter and Ice Cube, you can't trust them. Because remember when Ice Cube wanted to holler at him? Nah, I'll talk to you after the election. Black Lives Matter wanted to holler at him? Nah, I'll talk to you after the election. And it was after the election, and Black Lives Matter and Ice Cube said, okay, hey, let's have that meeting. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for y'all. I got, it's the pandemic. It's this. I talk to you later. And they never talked to him. So we cannot believe the Biden-Harris administration when they say, I'll talk to you after the election. You can't believe them. Okay? So black men who are looking at, and listen, these black men aren't shamed by any of you. You can say, oh, just you want to vote for Trump, just say that. Some men are voting for Trump. Why? Because of their pocketbook. They can care less about you because your shaming doesn't pay a bill for a black man. You just a Republican. What you just said, don't pay anything. They don't pay a car note, don't pay a house note, don't pay insurance, don't put clothes on your kids' back, don't pay for medical insurance, don't pay for nothing. All your shaming don't equal dollars. So black men are saying, forget your shaming tactics. It don't work. I'm thinking about my pocketbook. Just like every other man that's in this country. The white men think about their pocketbook, Hispanic men, Asian men, Arab men, East Indian men, all these other men think about their pocketbook. But black men are the only men that's supposed to be shamed into looking at skin color and emotion and be broke. Black people stay at the bottom because we don't focus on economic empowerment. And you have a new group of black men who's focusing on economic empowerment. Skin color not going to pay our bill, neither is emotion with the Democrat Party. Policies are going to put money in our back pocket. Reduction in taxes, so when black men are paying, have their business taxes reduced, they have more money. When black men who I met who are day traders, and what I mean by day traders, they trade stocks. That's what they do all day long. That's what I've talked to black men. They live their life off of trading stocks. They don't want to hear that the capital gains from her going up 48.6% from 20%. I'll talk to black men who don't have to punch a clock. Punching their clock is through their phone on a computer. That's what some of these black men are doing. Some of these black men are into crypto. Some of them. Trump talking about, letting them, being very favorable to crypto. The Biden-Harris administration is trying to either regulate it or literally get rid of it. So what about those men? I'm so proud of my brothers because at this time period, my brothers are finally thinking about their pocketbooks and wealth right now. I'm proud of my brothers. And when the brothers think like that, then that means that's going to benefit the women, that's going to benefit our children, so we can have resources. Emotions don't pay nothing. The first black this don't pay a thing, because when you get the first black, they don't do nothing for black. They do for everybody else, but they don't do for black. So brothers, you're on the right track. And I'm proud of you. You keep doing that. Now let's continue with your vice president.
So I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'll tell you, I've often been asked this question in a way that I've had to respond by first saying that I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that black men are in anybody's pocket. Black men are like any other voting group.
Well, yes. Well, I'm glad you admitted that, because for years, the Democrat Party and the shills have always said that we are in the pocket of the Democrat Party. And we even spoke about independents, Republican, Green Party, Libertarian, whatever party, right? How dare you? You're supposed to vote Democrat. Yes, you're supposed to vote Democrat. You're shamed to vote for Democrat. So was she saying, is that a new revelation? I don't know. But the beautiful thing about this election, what I've learned, is that the Democrat shills, they don't have no sway anymore. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The main reason why I definitely don't want her to win, well, there's many reasons, but I want to see the shills get thrown out by the DNC. I want to see it. I want to see it. Because think about it. If she don't win, the shills is done. They're done. They're going to have to get a new day job. But let's continue.
Got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote. Not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote. not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black. I'm going to have it because I am black. I'm going to have it because I am black. I'm going to have it because I am black. I'm going to have it because I am black.
Interesting.
I want to ask you about your opponent, Donald Trump. I was a little bit surprised. People might be surprised to hear that you have never interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what he said last month. He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, I'm just so now we black. What happened? I want to know what happened from the CNN interview to this one. What happened? Did the DNC say, "Look, we've been watching all them videos from all these people online, and you keep ducking and dodging black. I think that's hurting you. Now it's time to go out here at this interview and say that you're black." But like you said, one person saying here, when you ask directly, "Are you black?" you won't say it. Like, why? If you are black, why didn't you tell Dana Bash that? Hey, I'm black. Like, I don't know what the hell Trump talking about. When you was at a debate, they brought it up to you again. Same old tired playbook, but you wouldn't say you were black. Now you're saying you're black? Like, do you think people gonna be like, "Oh my God, she's finally claiming us. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a happy day." That is our favorite black woman right there. Because every black woman I know have no problem telling you they black. None. Whether they are definitely a black American woman. They have no problem telling you that. I've met women that's African. I've met women that's Caribbean. And they had no problem telling you, "Yeah, I'm a black person." They'll tell you that. They say, "I come from here, but I'm a black person." I even heard them say it. Because not everybody, the people you see on social media and in the real world, two different entities. So that's why I'm talking about real world, not social media. But definitely black American women have no problem telling you they're black. They will stand on their blackness. They are proud of their blackness. They're proud of what black women have accomplished. And so, yes, they're going to tell you they're black. And for sure, they would have read Trump for filth for even saying some crap like that. She never read Trump for filth. Because really, if you are a black woman, what Trump was saying about you was an insult. And the reason why she didn't really respond, like, "I'm very insulted," is because, let's call it what it is. She doesn't really identify as black. I know what her pappy is, but she grew up as an East Indian home. She's not culturally black American. She's not culturally Jamaican black. Remember, she grew up here. East Indian family. She went back and forth to India. She moved to Canada, was around them folks, and they say in an elite school, okay? Wasn't around the brothers and sisters in Canada. They got black people in Canada, but she wasn't around them. Then she come back here. If you are so black, then why did you lock up black people for truancy in California? Why did you do that? If you're so black, sister, why did you put all these black people in jail for marijuana of all things? All the things that you could put somebody in jail for in California, and it was that. Then, when it was time for these people to get out of jail, a judge had to force you to let them out of jail because you wanted them doing prison labor. And the judge had to make you do it. But you black. And a lot of these people you did this to were black men. Some black women too, but mostly black men. What about that brother? What's his name? Jamal Trulove, whatever the brother name is. That she was laughing about him trying to get 50 years. He ended up getting out. His case got thrown out. But what black woman would get a kick out of that? Would be laughing at a man going to jail 50 years. Now, you say, Sam, she honestly didn't even say she was black. She said she didn't expect the black vote because she was black. What you just say? She didn't expect the black because she was black. Okay, well, when somebody say that, she's saying that she's black. Period. My thing is, it's fake. It's fake and phony, and I'll just accept that you just say, I'm an Indian woman, and I have an Indian background. I respect that a lot more. Just be truthful. But let me get back here.
But because the policies and the perspectives I have, pocket. Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote, not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black.
She did say, I am black. She said, I am black. See, that's what she said. So, no, you was kind of wrong in that comment. She did say, I am black. And that's the main reason why I want to play this, so you can hear it yourself. She said, I am black. That's what she said.
But because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities, and I intend to be.
Now, they're asking you about black men. If you ask me about black men, I'm not about to start talking about, well, all communities and minorities and people of color. The question was about black men. Look, let's go back to the beginning.
Are a closely watched voting bloc. You've hosted black men at your residence.
Yep.
You have engaged black men and centered them in your economic opportunity tour.
Mm-hmm.
But polling shows that some black men, particularly young black men, are considering voting for Donald Trump, and they see him as better for the economy. What is your message to young black male voters who feel left out of this economy, and how can your economic policies materially change their lives?
This man mentioned black men 5 times. 5 times. He mentioned black men. The last thing he said, young black male voters, but 5 times. So that was the assignment, to talk about black men. And she's getting over here.
On black men. Understanding that, for example, we have so many entrepreneurs in the community who do not have access to capital, but they've got great ideas, an incredible work ethic, the ambition, the aspiration, the dream, but don't have the relationships necessarily. So my work has included, as vice president, getting billions more dollars into community banks, including working with the big banks to do that, so that we can increase access to capital for our small businesses, for our startups. Part of my plan under my economic opportunity plan going forward is that right now, startup entrepreneurs, small businesses only get a tax deduction of $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. So
remember, we're talking about black men. We're not talking about nobody. We're not talking about small businesses. It's black men. Remember, that was the assignment, black men.
I'm expanding that to $50,000. Understanding, again, that when people have the opportunity to have the resources to get started, they're going to put the good ideas, they're going to put the hard work into it. And part of what I also know is that our young black men, our black men, just like any group of people, anybody, our small businesses are really the backbone of our economy overall. And when they do better economically, we all do better. Part of my work is about understanding what we need to do in dealing with, for example, the historic inequities that have faced the black community around home ownership, right? I don't have to go through the history with anybody here about what that has meant in terms of redlining, what that has meant in terms of biases and home appraisals.
Ma'am, you're in office now. You have a Department of Justice that's at your control. You can do something about that right now, ma'am. Right now, Merrick Garland, you can go walk over there and say, hey, do them investigations on these home appraisals underneath the Civil Rights Division of the DOJ. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot they can do right now. What is she talking about?
And what the impact it has had on stemming the opportunity to build intergenerational wealth because of those obstacles. So part of the work that I have done and will continue to do is identify, speak truth about those obstacles, and address them. Another example is medical debt. 1 in 4 black families or individuals.
That's all I heard when she's talking. Just that's about all I hear. That's all I hear. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? My Lord, that babbling and just going and going and going. I can understand if you're talking and you're saying something, but you just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. I mean, like I said, I couldn't. I would have let her finish all that. I'd ask her one question. Well, okay, why don't you do it now? That's the only question you got to hit her when she do all that talking. Well, why don't you do all that now? You're in office. Black people, okay, the home appraisal. Okay, well, why don't you go to DOJ and can you do that now? Oh, well, you talk about the credit. Can you go over to the IRS right now and help put in this today? You ain't got to wait till later. You can do it now. You in office. That's all you got to tell her. You can do it now. You and Biden. Wake Biden up out of his 4 p.m. nap, like Trump was saying. Wake him up out of his nap, and y'all go it on and get it done now. Duval says Kamala Harris is showing how incompetent her and the Democrat Party are when it comes to running the country. And Duval says Trump 2024. And Tom says GD Phil, LOL. Well, you know, shout out to Tom there for the love offering. Shout out to you. You know, I mean, even with Kamala's talking, you still saying this.
What the hell did you just say?
That's every time she talk, I hear that. Either the Charlie Brown or what the hell did you just say? Like, cause you get lost. Remember, the man said black men 5 times. 5 times, and she just rambles and talk and ramble and talk and don't say anything. Yeah, like all that rambling she's doing. Just one that you said here. I guess beauty with brains. I guess is how you say that. 1 or 2 sentences is all she need, really, because she's like the people. I think Sister Mitra was telling me this today. She likes to filibuster a lot because she don't have nothing to say. She don't. So she fills in the blank with just a bunch of word salad, like people say about her, word salad. She fills in the blank, and she think it makes her look real smart. But really, if you're a person that's listening very well, you see when she goes off the rails, and she just start rambling. And not too many people stop her. Yeah, see, Shun even say, I forgot the question. Yeah, that, and I think she depends on that too, that you forget the question. But I don't forget, because I'm the type of person, when I ask you a question, even if you're rambling, even if I have to write something down while you're talking, I'll just keep it right there. And I'm like, okay. Now, let me go back to ask you what I originally asked you, because I heard it. I heard all that, but you didn't really answer my question. So let me ask you this. And you got to pin her down on making her answer a question and cutting her off when she's not answering the question like the sister did. And that's why she left pissed off, because she didn't like that pushback she was getting. But those 2 journalists that was there, the 2 brothers and the sister, They did a good job. I think they did. They didn't press her like Fox News would, but I still think they did a good job, because she was flustered in a lot of ways. She was flustered. Well, yeah, she talk in circles, because the key is talk in circles so you don't have to promise anything. Get people confused, like, what did I even ask her again? That's something she do as a protection mechanism too, because you can't pin her down on a bunch of nothing when she's talking about everything else but the question. You know, really, I'm starting to think she does that on purpose to confuse you, because she really don't have an answer. And I think today I have to go find that video. I think Hillary Clinton was coming out talking about it's not fair to be asking her about her policies. Like, what? What do you mean it's not fair? It is fair. You want people to vote for you. It's fair. You know, see, the Democrats, which y'all don't realize, they want this They want to run. You know, they always talking about Trump want to be a dictator. No, they want to be dictators. They want mass censorship. They want to control you. Remember, let's go back to the pandemic. They were telling you if you don't do a certain thing, you will lose your job. That was the Democrats that did that. And a lot of you lost your job because you didn't do that thing. You know, we on YouTube, we can't say it. But you know the thing I'm talking about. And a lot of you lost your jobs. They were saying, the Democrats were saying that you couldn't travel or come back to the United States unless you had certain things, right? A lot of this was the Democrats. You had to leave tested, come back tested. And if you had something, you couldn't come back as an American citizen, but they let the migrants come across that border with TB and everything else. But when it came to American citizens, they had you getting that testing and everything else. Oh, I hated that test. Oh, I hated that test. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all better think about that. These people believe in censorship. They believe in dictatorship. They don't want nobody to have a voice. They don't believe in the Bill of Rights. They don't believe in that. They constantly say what they want to do. I mean, let's think about it. Like Trump or not, the rhetoric, I mean, this is twice that people try to take his life. This is twice. And the Democrats are like, oh, well, we don't condone political violence. And then the next day they go right back to the things they were saying about Trump that stirs up political violence. These people are literally crashing out, saying and doing any old thing. They are. And the Democrats are trying to stop this man at all costs. The lawfare didn't work, so they say, forget it. We're going for broke. And this is going too far. Yeah, Mike. Yes, that'd be on the. That's a whole separate video tonight on the podcast. Check it out. 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Whole separate video. I'm talking about that one. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. You say, excuse me. So you said Cynthia says many brothers here in Michigan are not feeling her. Period. And hey, she got the Muslims mad at her too. A lot of Muslims say they gonna vote for Trump because they mad about the Palestine situation. They mad. They got a whole campaign called Abandon Harris, and they talking about they all go and vote. They not sitting it out. And right on, and shout out to them. Shout out to them. I know early voting, they say here in Texas, is on the. Hold on, I thought I just saw it, but let me double check the date. Okay, whatever. Let's see here. Early voting starts October 21. October 21 here in Texas. So in a few days, we almost got a month to go out for early voting. You said Democrats, I remind you of Emperor Ming and his army from the movie Flash Gordon. They say vote against blue no matter who. Yeah, the Democrats, they did. Yep, they've been went after the minister. So that's, we all know that story. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you say Muslims voting for Jill Stein. Hey, they not voting for Democrat. If it's Jill Stein, if it's Trump, some of them say Trump, some of them say, I don't care if Trump get in office, that ain't gonna bother me none. And what I liked about the Muslims for saying that is that, see, they're not emotional. They understand that, listen, this party is doing something against them, so they want to do something about it. They're not sitting around there talking about, well, they the lesser of two evils. I got to vote for them. That sort of thing. Okay, so you said y'all early voting is October the 3rd, and you said California is October 7th. Mike, all y'all from California right now, please get out there and vote. Early voting. First day of early voting. Get out there and vote and go vote out everybody out there out there at California Legislative Black Caucus. All y'all in California, your brothers and sisters, you got to vote. You can't just scream at the Capitol. You got to get out there and vote. Now, Sister Camila Moore messaged me about, let me see, hold on, let me go to my messages. She was working on a campaign. Let me see. She sent me this brother named Andre Sanford. I told her send me his links. I wanted to read his website, and she's working to get him elected. He's running against. Okay, that's him and his wife. Okay. Oh, he got a nice family. Okay. All right. He's running against. I'm trying to think who he's running against. Let me see. Okay, I was reading his plan. Okay. Well, Camila is working with him, with his campaign. I'm gonna look completely through it. He believes in reparations. He wants the reparations to be done. I know they want to get HBCU done in California too, from what I heard. I'm just kind of going through it. I'll look at it more tomorrow, and I'll get with Camila, and maybe we can get the brother over here and do an interview with our brother. He's running in, hold on, what district? Hold on. Let me see, assembly. What assembly he's running for? He's running in State Assembly District 18. Mike, you know what District 18 is at? District 18? Yeah, District 18 is what he's running. He's running on. Okay, so just letting you know that. And so yeah, Andre Sanford. That's who Camila is working with and getting behind to vote in. So, but I'll talk to her more and see about getting the brother over here. But yes, early voting. Vote out every member of the California Legislative Black Caucus. Every member needs to go, and the only way it can happen, unless you get your behind out there and vote, go to early voting. Don't wait till voting day, the national one. Go early. If it's October 7th, go out there, October 7th or October 8th, whatever. Get out there, get them out. All right, you say you think that's Northern California? Okay, all right. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Lord bless.